The Berlin Conference by Alexei Matrano, Joanna Fiali, Sam Rhoda, and Phil Carangelo. The Scramble for Africa. Driven by the want of African land, European colonies rushed in to try and divide up one of the biggest continents in the world. Imperialism influenced European nations to try and take different parts of Africa for their own possession. These new colonies would be used for natural resources and to stretch the presence of European nations across the globe. Europeans thought it was their duty to reform Africa due to the new concept of social Darwinism. They thought that the white race was superior in every way. Because of this absurd ideology, Europeans believed it was their obligation to reform Africa and colonize it. Missionaries felt compelled to teach Christianity in civilized ways to the quote-unquote savage Africans. They brought with them Western culture, schools, books, religions, services, and medicines and clinics, plus various other institutions. In 1876, Belgium held the Brussels Geographical Conference. This resulted in the creation of the African International Association. This conference would pave the way for the Congo Free State. The Brussels Conference also established the need for countries to have a government formed in the country to be able to claim it for themselves. The Congo Free State was a section of land owned by King Leopold II. Now the race to claim Africa was on. King Leopold II. In 1879, King Leopold II of Belgium sent Henry Morton Stanley to explore the Congo River Basin to create trade agreements with African tribes. After Belgium had sent Stanley to explore Africa, Portugal, England, and France also sent their own people to explore the new continent. Leopold had no concern for the natives at all. He had one goal in mind, and that was to make money. Therefore, he went on with attempting to colonize Africa. Henry Morton Stanley. Henry was able to build outposts and different roads. Also, he was able to travel the rivers with a new invention, the steamboat. Displaying his military force for the natives, he showed that Europe was the dominant nation. Plus, his gift shocked the natives of how advanced Europe truly was. He persuaded hundreds of African chiefs to agree to the terms and treaties he brought with him, although many of them had absolutely no idea what they were saying. The Berlin Conference. Since there were many land disagreements with Africa, German Prime Minister Otto von Bismarck proposed the Berlin Conference. This meeting was between 14 countries, some of the countries being the United States, United Kingdoms, Germany, Italy, and France. This conference made clear of the rules of colonizing Africa. Africans had no say in any of these agreements, plus it prevented a full-scale war happening over Africa. Within 30 years, all of Africa split into 50 different states. These states were maintained by European military force. Since the Europeans' weapons were so much more advanced, they absolutely crushed African rebellions, destroying Africans' previous boundaries and causing a multitude of different problems. The primary goal of the Berlin Conference was to maintain the free trade on the Congo River and Niger River. Leopold got exclusive rights to the Congo. Britain also got control of a vast chunk of Africa. Germany, Italy, and Spain also got land in Africa. The conference also made a weak effort to try and end the slave trade. Riches of the Congo. Leopold sought only to exploit the riches the Congo offered. Leopold, along with other wealthy individuals, drained the river area of copper, rubber, and ivory. Rubber was a new material that the Western world craved for tires. It was hard to grow, this plant, therefore Leopold used the many trees that offered this resource around the river to obtain rubber. Leopold took advantage of the natives, forcing them to do horrible labor for basically no pay at all. They were abused and savagely beaten. If your rubber quota was not met, your punishment was either death or your hand could be chopped off. 8.5 million to 10 million people were killed, and 15% of the population was lost. Work was hard, and the labor they had to deal with was very unfair. In a few years, the population of the Congo declined in numerous areas. Eventually, King Leopold lost control of the Congo due to the horrors he caused. Conclusion. The Berlin Conference ruined and devastated the culture of Africa. It threw their way of life into turmoil with complete disregard for the natives. It created enemies accompanied by many political problems. Due to the new land boundaries of Africa, all of Africa was in chaos. Violence is everywhere, and still years after this event, we can still see the effects today.